the Hadoop, what we are going to discuss in the entire our session. Let me give a brief introduction today. In this, one of the things we are going to cover means developer as well as few admin related topics also. Means we also should know what administrator will do and what kind of activities administrator are going to perform on day-to-day activities when our cluster is running. We will start with the introduction to Hadoop. In introduction to Hadoop session, what we are going to discuss is, before we are entering into the big data platform, what systems are available in the market, like what is a distributed file system and what are the problems with the traditional file systems, an introduction to big data and Hadoop, what is the brief history of Hadoop, and we'll also compare what is the difference between RDBMS systems to the Hadoop systems and data warehouse versus Hadoop, an introduction to Hadoop ecosystem components and business use case on healthcare industry as well as banking industry. While we are explaining about these, all the basic spot, we will take some PPTs. So all will be shareable to you. These are also I will share you guys. This will be useful for reference. We'll start with the what is a distributed computing and distributed file system challenges. Then we'll go for the what is the problem in the traditional file system environments, how we achieve those problems, how the data growth is increasing year by year, what are the main challenges where RDBMS is cannot able to fit the data and where big data platform is introduced. The main three challenges our organizations facing are velocity, variety, and volume. As velocity of the data is generating high year by year, that much data to generate and to process, we are going we need to maintain huge petabytes of hard drives, right? As well as variety. See, if you compare with the 1990s to the 2010s data, in those years we are going to get most of our data will be structured data. That means our data will come from our source systems, always structured data. But nowadays, the data which is generating in our businesses will be structured data, semi-structured data, unstructured data, audio files, video files, weblogs, XML files. Like this, we are going to have multiple heterogeneous formats data which is generating in our businesses. If you are maintaining, for example, in any of the business that is in business intelligence system like RDBMS systems, to maintain XML file, to maintain audio and video files, those kind of systems, we are not able to maintain in those systems because, for example, I also even worked on earlier in business intelligence field. When we are maintaining the business data in BI, there we can maintain only structured data. But nowadays the data is generating from devices like mobile devices, digital devices, test devices, all the devices. In all those devices, when the data is generating, those devices are generating the data with the different formats like audio, video, and those things, right? It is not so easy to maintain those kind of data in RDBMS systems. As it's not so easy to maintain those kind of data in RDBMS systems, we are not able to maintain that much data and that much varieties of data in that platform. That is the reason our organizations are looking for a new platform. That new platform we can simply call as big data. Even volume also. Okay, year by year going on, that volume of the data is also increasing. To overcome these three main challenges like velocity, variety and volume, our RDBMS is not able to fit. In that place, we receive an environment called big data. Okay. What is this big data? Here Hadoop is different and big data is different. Big data is a kind of concept. See, for example, in earlier days we have a data warehouse and data warehousing tools are there. Data warehouse is a concept which is going to maintain the data in any of the RDBMS systems. See, because this volume is increasing year by year in our businesses and velocity is also increasing, and our existing distributed systems are not able to maintain the data in RDBMS systems. Apart from that, before 1995, if you see, most of our web search engines like Yahoo search engine, Infoseek, Lycos, XIT, AltaVista, these are WebCooler. These all the search engines are using in our internet. These are providing different algorithms to search for a data. If you want to search anything in our data, to search for the data, whatever we have, these all search engines are using their own algorithms. But at the time it's taking much time to search and to provide and any other result or something. But from the era of 2000 onwards, there was a new search engine was introduced. That was Google. Google solved the problems of whatever existing search engines which we are having in internet. In the year of 2000, yes, Google was succeeded and Google became a biggest search engine, which is most popular search engine at the time using by most of the internet world. But as the years are going on, Google also starts struggling and Google also start facing some issues. What are the issues Google is facing? What kind of issues they are going to have? Google is going to have the main issues and challenges are, as years of going on, data is also increasing in Google. They also started struggling because right now Google is supporting more than 60 plus products available in the internet world. These 60 plus products are generating huge amounts of data. They want to store this data in a distributed fashion, not on a single machine. For example, I am storing one file in my Google Drive. Instead of storing that entire file on a Google servers in a single machine, they thought that we want to distribute the data across the cluster. For example, we have a 100 node cluster is there in our organization. When we have 100 node cluster, we want to distribute our data across the 100 node cluster. To do that activity, once the file is storing by us into the machine, then automatically it needs to be distributed. We should not do manually. And even though it is distributing across the cluster of nodes, in case of any node down, node in the sense server, if any of the node down or any mission down, we should not lose any data. That means Google want to achieve high availability of the data. To introduce that concept, Google developed one concept for their own business, that is Google File System. They released one white paper in the year of 2003 That white paper is giving information about the how Google is storing the data across the multiple clusters, and once they store the data, how they want to perform the multiple computations also. To do multiple computations also, they also introduce a new concept called distributed computation model, that's we are going to call with the other name MapReduce. Means Google developed two concepts, one is Google file system and MapReduce. These two, and along with these two, one more is there in Google, that is Big Table. These three are the base to implement a big data and Hadoop concept. See, Hadoop is an ecosystem which is going to have separate ecosystem components. Those are useful to develop a big data environment. But what is the base for our Hadoop means Google file system, MapReduce and Big Table. That Google file system is the one which is going to store our data across the cluster in a distributed fashion. Google released a one white paper on that particular Google file system in the year of 2003. Then second one is MapReduce. Once we store the data across the cluster in a distributed fashion, we want to perform our computations and calculations across the cluster again. Instead of doing on a single mission, instead of performing on a single system, we want to do parallelly across the cluster. For that also Google developed a concept called MapReduce, and Google developed a separate database to store their tables, petabytes of tables data, that we are going to call as a big table. These three white papers are the base to implement a Hadoop. Okay, we will discuss in our class like this. Okay, what is a Google file system? What is a MapReduce in Google? What is a big table? And what is a Hadoop? Hadoop is a framework actually. It's an open source set of libraries which are having a framework, APIs. Those will be useful to do distributed calculations as well as distributed storage. The distributed storage we simply going to call with the name HDFS in Hadoop, and MapReduce is a distributed computing. That we are going to discuss in our introductory sessions, and we'll also discuss about history of this one and data warehouses versus Hadoop, introduction to Hadoop ecosystem. Hadoop ecosystem in the sense, just a second. See, this is a Hadoop ecosystem. Ecosystem means the subcomponents what we have in our Hadoop. The major subcomponents what we have in our Hadoop are HDFS, MapReduce, hcatalog, Pig, Hive, Scoop, Flow, and Zookeeper, Ambari, Oozie, HBase, Mahout. These are all the sub-components of our entire Hadoop ecosystem. When you go for Hadoop ecosystem, they all will be the sub-components of the Hadoop ecosystem. Okay. These sub-components, whatever we are having, we will discuss one by one. Before that, we will also discuss in our sessions, that is how to set up a Hadoop cluster in our missions. And every topic completed, you are going to get some assignments, some interview questions, some questions, and some assignments will be given to you. You can also practice. If you have any questions, we can also discuss in separate sessions. Here, Hadoop cluster setup in the sense how to do installation of Hadoop on our missions. We can do installation of Hadoop and setup either on single node mission, that's called pseudo distributed mission, or fully distributed mission, or any processor mission. Once we are done with the setup of Hadoop, we will get a Hadoop is installed on our mission. Generally in our organizations, Hadoop we are going to have set up on with one name node followed by multiple number of data node machine. That means we are going to have, I'm just starting my Hadoop platform. See, this is the one which I'm just playing. In actual class, I'll again tell you how to start and everything. Just I'm start. It'll take 1 or 2 minutes. See, we are going to discuss how to set up the Hadoop, and okay, for this setup also, we can do on Unix machines, we can perform on Linux machines, we can perform on Windows machines, we can perform on Mac OS. If we want to do Hadoop cluster setup on our personal machines, your machine should have at least minimum 2 GB of RAM. Then it will going to be good. If you are having more than that also, it will be very good. And I'll show you how to do uniprocessor machine setup and sudo distributed machine setup also. Fully distributed machine setup we are not able to do here because we required multiple machines to do the fully distributed machine. Multiple machine means one server, multiple clients like that. And I'll show you in session itself how to set up the cluster on Windows, on Linux. If required, we can also discuss on Mac OS also. If anyone having Mac OS operating system in your machines, we will discuss. Otherwise, I'll send you the setup related documents. Those will be useful to you to set up. And once every class completed, you are also going to get that class recording session. You can listen that recording of setup, and you can also do setup on your machine, your own as well. If any help required, okay, while you are doing setup, in case of any, if you face any issue, these are because very simple steps to do the setup on our machines. Because this particular Hadoop is an open source stack. It's not okay. Payable one. It's an open source stack right now. We can get download and we can also install on personal machine. And once Hadoop setup is done, we will start discussing about our ecosystem components called HDFS and these components. With this HDFS, let me just open the ecosystem diagram. If you see in this ecosystem diagram, there is a ecosystem component called HDFS. What is this HDFS? What is the purpose of this HDFS? What we are going to do with using of HDFS in our ecosystem? HDFS means, the full form of HDFS is Hadoop Distributed File System. What is that Hadoop Distributed File System? What is the purpose of it? We want to store our data across the distributed systems. To do that one, in Hadoop, we have a separate platform called HDFS. In HDFS, we are going to have name node is a one kind of machine, and data node is nothing but a other machines. Okay, this is the place where we are going to store entire our data in a format of files. That simply we are going to call a HDFS. We will discuss in our session. Let me go by the content what we are going to discuss. Significance of HDFS in Hadoop, features of HDFS, HDFS architecture. What are the main subcomponents are available in HDFS, like a name node. Name node means kind of master machine, data node, secondary name node, and what are the new features are there in Hadoop 2.0 version of Hadoop discussion. In our session also, in all these 50 hours of duration, we will all discuss about Hadoop 2.0 only, how we are going to have Hadoop 2.0 maintenance, and what are the new features are available with high availability, and what is Hadoop Federation, Resource Manager, Node Manager, App Master, Namespace, block pool. This is all we are going to discuss. Let me just show you Hadoop. See, this is a basic architecture for Hadoop 1x version. Like a client, we are going to have a client mission, and we are going to have a name node mission, and we are going to have secondary name node. These are the two missions which are going to have same configuration, and these are the master missions. This is a master mission, this is a backup master. They are called community missions.
Hello?
Place where actual data is going to store.
I have a question, please.
In our cluster, the place where we are going to have actual data is nothing but data nodes. See, these are the blocks. These are nothing but blocks here. Our data nodes are going to have multiple blocks data, and each block is going to be replicated. There is a concept called replication. What is this replication? For example, I'm sending one file. That file related file is going to divide into a number of blocks. Each block size is going to be, for example, 128 MB size. Just an example, assume that each block size is 128 MB. But I am sending today 2 GB file. When I am sending 2 GB file, to store the 2 GB file, we are going to divide our data into multiple blocks. As when we divide our data into multiple blocks, those blocks should be distributed across the multiple data node machines. These data node machines are nothing but our normal day-to-day machines which are going to maintain the data. As these data node machines are maintaining the data in our cluster, these data node machines, whatever we are having, is going to have a replication. Replication means, let me just show you in separate diagram. Yeah, you can understand clearly. All the whatever I am showing you PPTs here, all the PPTs also will be shareable to you. You can just use as a reference while you are practicing. See, for example, this is the file data I am getting. How my data is going to store in my Hadoop environment, in the sense, these are the place where we are going to have data nodes, and this is called name node, this is called master, and this is called backup name node, or maybe secondary name node we are going to call. See, this is the file I am getting from today. This file is the biggest file which is having some 30 GB data. The 30 GB data will never store on a single machine itself. Why? Why we are not storing? In case if 30 GB data is storing on a single machine itself, if that particular machine is down due to any hardware issues or network issues or software issues, we are going to lose our data. That is the reason we are not going to maintain entire data in a single machine. We want to split our data into a number of blocks. See here, these small units are nothing but blocks, right? And when these blocks are storing into these data nodes, because the data is going to store on data nodes in HDFS, each block is going to copy multiple number of times. Why? Why should I copy the same block in multiple times in multiple machines? That concept we are going to call as a we're simply going to call it a replication. What is this replication means? Same block data is going to be copied multiple times the specified number of replication factor. For example, if replication I specified is 5 times, the same block will be 5 times then. If replication is 10 times, then same block will be 10 times.